This woman belongs in prison.
I talked to a mortgage banker with 43 years experience to speculate on Letitia James' alleged mortgage fraud. Here's why he thinks she might be in big trouble.
In 2023, papers show she claimed a house in Norfolk, Virginia as her primary residence. That qualifies for a lower mortgage rate. But at the time she's been serving in public office in Albany, New York, that's 500 miles away.
You cannot buy a piece of property and state that you're going to occupy it and not occupy it. When you buy a property and you acknowledge you are going to own or occupy it, your down payment criteria is different, as well as your interest rate. The interest rates normally on an investment property will be anywhere from 3/4 to a full percentage point higher. You will also have to most likely pay discount points, which is an additional cost at the time that you close on the property. If it shows on her settlement statement she didn't pay discount points, she got an owner-occupied interest rate. In order to be an owner-occupant of a piece of property, you must live in the property for the first 12 months after purchase.
And the referrals also show that she bought this brownstone in Brooklyn, New York, but misrepresented the number of units in it.
How do you buy a 5-unit property and turn it into a 4-unit property? You just cannot do that. When the appraiser goes into that property, they're going to see that there's 5 kitchens, 5 separate living quarters. She must have had some type of connection between herself and the initial lender and the appraiser in order to get away with doing this as a residential. The other fraud comes into play. She did it owner-occupied again. Fannie Mae Freddie Mac says you can have multiple owner-occupied properties, but you have to live in it for a year, vacate it, and go find the next property. That can make this case really big and not only put her in prison, but the lender and the appraiser. And here's the other thing too that you have to remember. She did refinance this property using the TARP program that was approved in 2008. She was able to get herself a much lower interest rate, even though her income was much higher than what the individual is qualified to get. So she scammed it that way as well.
She bought another building with her father as co-signer, calling herself his wife.
By her co-signing with her dad to buy a piece of property and putting on the application as being married, they therefore were able to combine their income together and combine their debts together for qualifying purposes. If she acknowledged that she was married but she wasn't married, that's fraud. You cannot do that. Then we find out that she's married to her father. How is that possible? That's total misrepresentation. When we take a loan application on any individual, if they acknowledge they're divorced, we need to know that because we need to know if there's an obligation for alimony or child support. If you're going to tell us you're married to your father, what's the reason for this? Are you trying to pull a fast one in order for him to become the owner-occupant? It doesn't work that way. Any mortgage lender who's got many years experience, just to look at that file and they will find so many red flags of fraud that she can end up in prison for 20 years. I have seen many loan officers go to prison in my career for doing simple things like this. It's time for her to pay.